like to call this meeting to order, the Harriman City Council, September the 20th, 2022. Before we do, we'll have a prayer by our Fire Chief, Mr. Brad Daniels, followed by pledge allegiance to the flag. Mr. Daniels.
Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we come to you tonight, Lord, to thank you, Lord, for another day of life. Lord, I pray, Lord, you be with us, Lord, as we conduct city business here tonight. Lord, I pray, Lord, you be with everyone that's represented here tonight, Lord. Just look over us, be with their families, Lord, and just be with our whole city, Lord. Keep your hand upon it, Lord, as we do your business. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the roll, please.
Brian Frost.
Here.
John Brackett.
Here.
Alicia Harris.
Here.
Tim Johnson.
Here.
Travis Kirkland.
Here.
Kenyon Me.
I'd like to declare a quorum. Motion to approve the minutes of the September the 6th, 2022 meeting.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Johnson, second by Councilman Frost. Councilman Johnson.
No, sir.
Councilman Frost.
No, sir.
Floor is open for discussion. Call the roll, please.
Brian Frost.
Yes.
John Brackett.
Yes.
Alicia Harris.
Yes.
Tim Johnson.
Yes.
Travis Kirkland.
Yes.
Motion carries. Motion to pay the bills.
So moved.
Motion by Councilwoman Harris. Second. Second by Councilman Brackett. Councilwoman Harris.
No, sir.
Councilman Brackett. Floor is open for discussion. Call the roll, please.
Brian Frost.
Yes.
John Brackett.
Yes.
Alicia Harris.
Yes.
Tim Johnson.
Yes.
Travis Kirkland.
Yes.
Motion carries. At this time, we'll hear from the delegation. If you'd like to address this council, please come up to the podium, state your name, and limit your comments to 3 minutes.
Hello, I'm Barry Paulson, and I'm with the Tennessee Medieval Fair, and it's coming up the first 3 weekends in October. So this is our 7th annual show. It's our 15th festival on the site, and we're very grateful to the City of Harriman for partnering with us so we can bring tourists into Roane County. And our slogan is Live the Age of Chivalry with the Young King Arthur. And we have 8 acres developed with 5 stages and continuous entertainment. So everyone's gotten a free ticket. And one thing that we're doing with the school board is to give every elementary and middle school child a free ticket with the purchase of an adult ticket. And ever since we've been doing this, people understand, oh, we're family friendly because we're working through the school board. So we're really grateful for that partnership. So just a couple of requests that with our contract that the entrance road be maintained before we open on the 1st. And I would invite all of you to please come to the show and please invite your friends, because if as we grow, then that just helps everybody. And we're also seeking a large nonprofit group to help staff the show the last weekend, the 14th and 15th. So it's a fundraiser for that group. The people volunteer, but then the group gets the money. We have a group lined up for the first 2 weekends, but they have a conflict for the last weekend. So any questions? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Cynthia Hughes. I'm with Platinum Point Mental Health and Recovery Center. And I'm also representing a committee that we put together to recognize in Roane County Recovery Awareness Month. September is the National Recovery Awareness Month and celebration, and we're very fortunate that the City of Harriman was willing to host the first for Roane County, the first celebration. So that's going to be on Thursday, September 29th in Riverfront Park, and I'd like to invite all of you to please come help us celebrate. The theme for this year, the national theme, and we're using the same theme as we're instructed to do, is every person, every family, every community. So we're going to have activities. The fire department has graciously agreed to have a cornhole contest and prizes. Every vendor that's there, and the vendors are going to be physicians, mental health organizations, recovery organizations, churches, the health department. Right now we have 20 exhibitors, vendors, and they're all going to do activities, have giveaways, prizes, and educational materials to help those with mental health issues, substance use disorders. We're trying to make it a fun event, but educational also. From 6 to 6:35, we'll have speakers that will try to limit their topics 5 to 7 minutes. We also want to offer certificates of recognition to those in the community who have supported those with mental health issues, substance use issues, and also providers working in the field of mental health and substance abuse with certificates of recognition. The last 10-15 minutes of the ceremony will be a balloon release. Those of you who want to recognize, support, and honor those who are working an active recovery program for both mental health or substance abuse can release a red balloon. If you want to memorialize someone that may have been lost to mental health issues or addiction, you can release a white balloon. And then after that, the exhibitors row will open again. I did forget that part. The exhibitors will open at exhibit row at 5 o'clock. And then they'll close for the ceremony and reopen again for more fun activities, prizes, and education. And again, I want to thank, on behalf of being a mental health provider and having a recovery center myself, I want to thank the City of Harriman, those of you who have served on the committee. Mayor Best, you've been incredible. So I want to say a big thank you to you. It's been huge to have that support. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else like to address council? If not, we'll go into reports. Mr. Ruther.
So I'll be attending the TGFOA conference this week. That's the Tennessee Governmental Finance Officers Association. I'll be there tomorrow through Friday afternoon. And next week starts our annual required audit. So Monday through hopefully about Wednesday, the auditors will be in the office doing their work. So Teresa and I are going to be quite busy during that period of time to provide them with the necessary documents to conduct their audit. That's all I have.
Do I have anything, Mr. Ruther? Thanks, sir. Mr. Mason.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, members of the City Council. This is a lot of good stuff happening. We started taking applications this afternoon already for the Christmas parade, for trunk or treat. So we've got a lot of things happening this fall. We've got the medieval fair. We've got September the 29th, Cindy just told you about. A lot of good stuff, and we've got some good grant information to bring for you today. So I will talk quickly. First thing that I included in your packet, and one thing I told Teresa I would like to try and do a better job of as we get ready for City Council, whether we have a workshop or not, but you've got included, and that's just a little background of every item that's on the agenda, and I will start mailing that out on Thursday or Friday, probably Friday when Teresa mails out the council packets, just so that gives you a little more background information. But I also include on that second page, anytime we have a workshop, I'll try and include the topics that we need to discuss about, so that way you can come to council a little more prepared. Just a couple of things from our Parks and Rec. Just a reminder that the last day our splash pad will be open will be Sunday, September the 25th. We've got that on our Facebook page, also on the city's website. Also this Saturday we have the Emory Golf Club Championship that'll be held. From our fire department, our total August dispatches, they were up to 159. Of those calls, 5 were fire. That went up. Our rescue and emergency medical service went up to 89. Hazardous condition calls stayed the same at 2. Our service calls actually went down. Good intent call went up to 28, and our false alarm calls went down. Travis Wilmot has gotten all his medical certifications, so all of our firefighters are currently trained. At this point, I'd like to introduce Chief Daniel to introduce our 2 new lieutenants, and this is good news as well.
Guys, we had a process here about a week ago. Had 3 guys apply, and it was a really hard decision. All 3 guys were great applicants. I mean, it was really a hard decision. But overall, Mr. Johnny Jones, who would come up, and Stephen Hartung, these are the 2 new lieutenants. They took their role starting today. They're very gung-ho and for the city. Don't care one bit doing extra projects and stuff like that. Absolutely are fired up and stand behind me and the assistant chief and support us each and every day. And I'm very proud of each one of them and looking forward to working with them and moving the department forward.
Thank you. Congratulations, guys.
Congratulations. Thank you, guys.
Forward to your work.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief, and congratulations, Lieutenants. Not only good, but great for the City of Harriman and our fire department. From our police department, one of the good things, our total dispatches went down during the month of August to 736. Total incident reports went up to 91. Total arrest reports were up 59. And our total drug arrests were up to 26. And with the onset of September the 1st, that ended our Turn Up the Heat campaign that we started on June the 1st. And that certainly does not mean that our PD is not going to be still continuing to clean up our city streets, but that was a push that we've not done in several years to really do an awareness job. So our final numbers with that, we had, during our Turn Up the Heat campaign, had over 82 drug people that were charged with drug charges. Of that, there was 137 total drug charges. 107 of the drug charges originated with our HPD drug unit and our K-9 deployment. So just kudos to our police department for doing a really good job. And again, they will continue to keep the heat on, but really just good news for our PD and the City of Harriman and the people that live here. One thing that I was going to mention, and Cindy stole my thunder, but I was going to tell you also in your packets, the mayor and I had a chance along with the police department, fire department, to meet with her about what we have going on September the 29th. One thing to add, this is part of a national celebration. I think the first time it's ever been held in Roane County. So a big chance to really educate and celebrate some good things on September the 29th at Riverfront Park. Jimmy is not with us right now, but I'm happy to report he's been working on trying to clean up our blighted properties. As of today, the following properties have been demolished and the lots have cleared. You can go by there. They've been seeded. Look beautiful. It's at 110 Sevier, 1106 Sevier, and 211 Hannah. Next scheduled property to be cleaned up is 616 Meadowview. On our grant update, we were very excited. Keita did a lot of work. We are, and as did Jess Richardson and David Brandon on this, but we found out last week we're a finalist for the Historic Development Grant, and that will be going towards strictly the Temperance Building. So we're in the final phases. Keita submitted everything again yesterday for the second phase, so hopefully in the next few weeks we'll know the allotment we received for that grant. Natasha West also submitted a Blue Cross Blue Shield grant, and that's the fitness and fun playground that we'd like to put at the community center. That's 100% grant, so that means nothing comes out of our pockets, and we should find out in October, November if we receive that. And then in the workshop, I'll talk a little more about the SS4A, that's the Safe Streets grant. Finally, as I close my report, just a reminder, if you're interested in going to the MTAS Elected Officials Academy, you have to register by October the 6th. I'll be glad to help you with that. We've had that information in email and also in the copies of the direction. But another thing I want to sing Keita's praises on, we looked at, and I got with Candace from HUB, several things in preparation. And luckily, we'd already started. We had the gas pumps go down, and that was a little bit of a snafu, but we worked it out. But we tried, Keita has been trying with our police department to work with Fuel Man, and what that is a card that you can use at various gas stations here in the city limits. Our gas bill for our police department during our prior fiscal year was as high as $8,000 one month. We averaged between $5,000 and $6,000 a month. So on this Fuel Man card, Keita, you want to explain it or we keep rolling?
Keep rolling.
Okay. What we did, we took the 2 weeks that we used Fuel Man in the month of October and August, and also on our WEX card. We came out just guesstimating about $4,300 is what the cost would be for our police department. So quite a bit of savings. Keita was also able to get the petroleum tax removed from that. So when we look at our first full month, that number will reduce by $300 to $400. So Keita has had a great week and just really proud. There's a lot of good things going on in the city of Harriman, and it's about to get ramped up with everything we've got going on. And that's my report, unless you have any questions for me.
Good news.
Any questions? Thanks, sir. Keep
Thank you.
bringing the excitement.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, Scott.
This time we're going to do business. First time discussing possibly approve resolution R0922-01, a resolution authorizing the City of Harriman to approve the submittal of the TDEC application accepting the funds from the other governing bodies, Rome, Morgan, and Oakdale, and approving the matching funds. As Scott had said, that is in the new business. It tells kind of what it is. Motion to approve.
Make my motion.
Motion by Councilman Johnson, second by Councilwoman Harris. Councilman Johnson.
No, sir.
Councilwoman Harris.
No, sir.
The floor is open for discussion. This is with HUB, correct? Is this what? Candace, do you want to just give them a little brief on it real quick, or you?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. So this kind of dates back to March 2021 when the federal government announced the ARP grant, the ARP funding for state and local governments. The state of Tennessee decided to take $1 billion of that state funding from that infrastructure bill, or not infrastructure bill, I guess recovery bill, and dedicate that strictly for water, wastewater, and stormwater funding. And we've been really grateful and lucky to receive some allocation directly to the City of Harriman that can benefit Harriman Utility Board. We're also receiving funds that were dedicated for Morgan County, for the town of Oakdale, and for Rome County. So each of the town of Oakdale has given us their entire allotment, so we're grateful for that. We'll supply the matching funds required. This is basically a little over 90% grant. All of this is based on the demographics of the City of Harriman. We only have to put up 10% of whatever grant funding is received. So it's very exciting. In total, we've planned to spend about $3.6 or $7 million. Again, about 90%, a little bit over 90% is grant, and the rest of the 10% is required for matching funds. 100,000 of that's coming from the City of Harriman. This council passed that resolution, I think, back in May. Some of that money, I think, the number is $174,342 is coming from Rome County government. They passed the resolution a few months ago. And the remainder of the matching funds that would be required are coming from Harriman Utility Board, just general water and sewer revenue. The projects, all of the money that was dedicated to the City of Harriman will be spent on sewer improvements, because sewer is only really in the City of Harriman with a few exceptions. But all of those dollars will be spent inside of the city limits. The water funding, the remainder of the project, it's not quite half and half, about $2.2 million dedicated toward drinking water and about $1.5 million dedicated toward sewer. The water project is going to be used to replace a pump station, our Wolf Branch pump station, and some transite water line. This is as far as the money will take us up Oakdale Highway and across the mountain between the pump station and Oakdale Highway, which is probably the most important part of the project, is making sure that that tough area for us is replaced with a brand new ductile iron pipe.
Do I have any questions, Candace? Thank you for explaining.
Thank you.
Any questions? Call the roll, please.
Brian Frost.
Yes.
John Brackett.
Yes.
Alicia Harris.
Yes.
Tim Johnson.
Yes.
Travis Kirkland.
Yes. Motion carries. Next item, discuss and possibly approve surplus of, there's 3 items: a John Deere zero turn, a Jacobson LF 123 mower, a Grasshopper zero turn mower. Motion to approve to get those on surplus.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Frost,
Second.
second by Councilman Brackett. Councilman Frost.
No, sir.
Councilman Brackett.
No, sir.
Floor is open for discussion. Call the roll, please.
Brian Frost.
Yes.
John Brackett.
Yes.
Alicia Harris.
Yes.
Tim Johnson.
Yes.
Travis Kirkland.
Yes. Motion carries. Next item, discuss and possibly approve proclamation for National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day. That is on October the 24th, 2022. It's in your writing to it explains it. Motion to approve.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Councilman Johnson,
Second.
second by Councilman Frost. Councilman Johnson.
No, sir.
Councilman Frost.
No, sir.
Floor is open for discussion. I'll read this real quick so everybody that's watching will kind of understand what this is. The proclamation formally declares October 24, 2022 a National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day. This is a national effort to collect unused or expired prescription drugs in a safe and environmentally friendly manner. While our PD has a bin in the department and collects such items on a daily basis, this is an effort to also educate the public. Any other discussion? Call the roll, please.
Brian Frost.
Yes.
John Brackett.
Yes.
Alicia Harris.
Yes.
Tim Johnson.
Yes.
Travis Kirkland.
Yes. Motion carries. Next item, discuss and possibly approve resolution R0922-02, a resolution authorizing the City of Harriman to participate in the Safety Partners Matching Grant Program through public entity partners. This is Safety Partners is a grant that the fire department is going after to get 2 sets of turnout gear.
I'll make a motion. Second.
Motion by Councilman Frost, second by Councilman Kirkland. Councilman Frost.
No, sir.
Councilman Kirkland. Floor is open for discussion. Call the roll, please.
Brian Frost.
Yes.
John Brackett.
Yes.
Alicia Harris.
Yes.
Tim Johnson.
Yes.
Travis Kirkland.
Yes. Motion carries. Next item, discuss and possibly approve hiring a city manager.
City attorney.
Our city attorney. Sorry, I've been thinking about that all week. You know. I was just gonna see if anybody noticed it.
That's good.
City attorney.
That's a good one.
Before we get a motion or second, we did the interviewing last week. Last Wednesday. 2 or 3 of the councilmen couldn't make it, so you all have not met the candidates. The council can move forward with. I think that well, I don't know. Like just listening. I don't know where council stands as far as wanting to move forward with you. I know you two was not here. If you feel comfortable moving forward.
Go ahead.
Okay. It's up to council if you want to make a motion on hiring somebody or what you all want to do.
I say make a motion to forward with Mr. Owens.
Okay.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilman Frost to move forward with Mr. Owens, second by Councilwoman Harris. Councilman Frost.
I believe he'll be a good asset to the city.
Councilwoman Frost. Harris. I'm always.
I know you are. No, I don't have any questions per se or comments other than the 3 people that interviewed. For those of us that were present, we felt like after our interview that Mr. Owen would be our best choice for the city of Harriman.
Floor is open for discussion.
I'd just like to, I'd like to say before we move any further, you know, I didn't have the pleasure of being here. I apologize to to the council, to the other members, mayor, to our city manager. But I've had so much stuff going on here lately, and actually I had a medical thing that I had to attend that day, and I tried to get back, but I just feel like, in my opinion, I read this stuff I went through it in about 15 minutes last night. I read everything, actually very thorough, and they probably don't want to hear this, but I found a few discrepancies in Mr. Owens' resume, and so I was going to ask, but I know we voted to made a motion to continue. That I was going to ask myself that we could prolong it for just a little bit and think about it just a little bit more. And I'd like to ask everybody if they would just reread this. I read it in 15 minutes, and I redlined everything. And I did, there's some, I could bring it up. I don't want to have, it's going to take too much time. I did find some discrepancies in there. His accolades, kudos for the accolades. But I just feel like, and I know, trust me, I know we're at a very essence in time, to get somebody. But I just feel like that a little bit longer, just a little bit, and ask council just to read over these things one more time. Now, I'm not just saying it because I wasn't here. I like to be, but I did read the resume, and that's where I'm at right now. I could take more time and point those things out to you, but I think if you read them real carefully, you'll see them your own self.
Me personally, I read them. I felt like that reading them and listening to the interview process, the experience, the only candidate that had any experience was Mr. Owens. He's the only one that had any experience in city business. The other ones we'll catch it, but we'll learn it on the fly. The city is in a position right now to where we've got to have somebody with some experience. I'm not opposed to anybody that we looked at, but now I did read them. I didn't see on his part anything that, except experience, that would benefit the city of Harriman. But as I said, I got to hear their interviews and you didn't, and it makes a difference.
It does make a difference. It does make some difference. I could bring up one point if it allow me to, and you can either agree to disagree, or we can agree to disagree. If you allow me to.
You have the floor, yeah.
Okay. Does he live in Knoxville or does he live in Rock County?
Rockwood.
He does live in Rockwood. Does he vote? Where's the register to vote at? Anybody know?
We did,
That pretty much tells the tale of where you live. As far as I'm concerned. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
well, it depends on what rules they have, because we have residents that live in Harriman that can vote in Kingston because they own property in Kingston. They have rights. They can vote in both places. So it depends on what rights you have. I think that he has a dual residency. I think that he lives in Rockwood, and then he has a house also in Knoxville that he lives at sometimes. I think that he has a dual residency. And we did ask that question. And we did ask the question, will you be here? Will you, all those things about, will you be a part of who we are? And he goes to church here. I think he resides here most of the time. But now he does have his office is up on Gay Street. It is in Knoxville.
And having a home in Farragut, to me, that you don't live in, only part of the time, that's one of the more higher echelon areas. So just to me, it just brings up a little bit of concern, that's all I'm saying. Guys, I just want the very best for Harriman. I'm going to be on board with everybody, but my only concern is that, that was one thing. There's a couple more, but that was one of the kind of bigger things right there. I own the property, Kingston, but I have my voting areas right here. I have a particular voting area, and that kind of but that was I'm not gonna take credit for that. That was brought up somebody that probably smarter than me. And probably would be hard to do, but I did think that was a little bit of an issue. His credentials were there. I totally agree with you all. I mean, experience, the credentials, and can't argue with that. Can't argue with that.
Any other questions, comments? Call the roll, please.
Do we have a first and a second?
Yeah, Councilman Frost made the motion and Councilwoman Harris second.
Okay. Brian Frost,
Yes.
John Brackett,
Yes.
Alicia Harris,
Yes.
Tim Johnson,
Yes.
Travis Kirkland.
Yes. Motion carries. Next item, discuss and possibly approve purchase of a bucket truck for the amount of $28,000. The bucket truck is outside, sitting on the side of the building. We have talked for years about getting a smaller truck to be able to do all the stuff that we do throughout Harriman. David has been using it. They've let us use it this week to show us what it can do. And he done in probably a day what it takes us 2 or 3 days to do with the big bucket truck. So it's saving time and money. But I'll say this, I'm not big on buying used equipment. I think when we can, we buy new equipment because it just is what it is. But the way the trucks and everything is, a city right next to us ordered one back in January. They still don't know when they're going to get it, if they're going to get it. So I think this is an opportunity for us to move forward with something we've been looking at. We're going to take the money out of the beautification fund, which we've got over. You all see how much money we've got in there. So we're going to take the money out of it to purchase it because that's what we're using the truck for mainly. Motion to approve.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Councilman Johnson.
Second.
Second by Councilman Frost. Councilman Johnson.
It's a no-brainer. It'll help us all get stuff done a lot faster. And appreciate the people that put us in touch to be able to get it. Thank you.
Councilman Frost.
I agree with Councilman Johnson.
Floor is open for discussion. Call the roll, please.
Brian Frost,
Yes.
John Brackett,
Yes.
Alicia Harris.
Yes.
Tim Johnson,
Yes.
Travis Kirkland.
Yes. Motion carries. We have one other item that didn't get on the agenda. Get a motion to waive the agenda rule.
So moved.
Motion by Councilwoman Harris, second.
Second.
Second by Councilman Johnson. All in favor, aye? Aye. Any opposed, like sign. Okay. The item is, it's a resolution to authorize borrowing money for the fire truck that we have already ordered. This was done under the last council to go ahead and order the fire truck, go ahead and do it, but we didn't approve the financing at that time. We was going to wait closer to time to get the truck, so it's time to pay for it now. So I'm going to read the resolution. Let's see here. Discuss and possibly approve resolution R0922-03. A resolution authorizing the insurance of interest-bearing general obligation capital outlay notes of the City of Harriman, Tennessee, in aggregate principal amount not to exceed $800,000, making provisions for the insurance, sale, and payment of said notes, establishing the terms thereof, and the disposition of proceeds therefrom, and providing for the levy of tax, if necessary, for the payment of principal thereof and interest thereon. Motion to approve.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Councilman Frost, second by Councilman Kirkland. Councilman Frost.
No, sir.
Councilman Kirkland. No, sir. Floor is open for discussion. Call the roll.
Brian Frost,
Yes.
John Brackett,
Yes.
Alicia Harris,
Yes.
Tim Johnson,
Yes.
Travis Kirkland.
Yes. Motion carries. That's all we have on the agenda. We'll go into council remarks. Councilman Kirkland, you have anything? No. Councilman Frost.
No, sir.
Councilman Johnson.
No, sir.
Councilwoman Harris.
I just want to say thank you to the City of Harriman and all the individuals that assisted in the Save the Tree for Barksdale track. It was a fun-filled, I'm going to say 2 days, the Thursday when she was at the high school, and then Friday. It was a lot of things going on, and you saw the city employees, everybody assisting and helping wherever they could. So since I was on that committee, I just want to say thank you to the city for all of your help.
Thank you. Thank you all for making it possible. Councilman Bragg. The only thing I have is, don't forget there's a workshop right after the meeting tonight. Watch the calendars. October is completely just about booked up. There's something going on every night in Harriman. I want to thank David and Jess for all the decorations through town. There's still more to come, but they look great. We're starting to look a lot festive, so appreciate all the hard work. That's all I have. Motion to adjourn. Motion. Motion and a second. All agree? Aye. Any opposed, like sign? You got it.